agalirala munkolimbo okwogera njogera omweru takira muddugavu agalirala.
This was one of the darkest days on Ghana's roads. Some of the victims were traders who had traveled several kilometers crossing Ghana's border to Burkina Faso to buy tomatoes. The irony is that Ghana is better placed geographically to produce tomatoes than Burkina Faso. My name is Justice Baidu, and in this program, I've been traveling around Ghana finding out how over 300 state factories built in the First Republic were run down and the impact that is having on the country. Today, I'm going to Bolgatanga to find out about the state of a tomato processing factory built to buy from tomato farmers and boost export of processed tomatoes.
I'm called Justice Ayene Anton Bingo. I am the apex body within the VIA project. I'm their president. At the beginning, you see that you start it with your strength that you have. You try to gather all the resources that you have to make sure that you get your farm look neat, get good fruiting. But when the problem that you normally face that get the people to come and buy. You see the tomato will be there rotting, nobody comes in to buy. That's the main challenge that we are facing, because you'll be able to produce the tomato, but the buying stage you will not get. And we don't have cool houses here whereby we'll keep the tomato.
This is Nyariga. It's a small town just outside Bolgatanga, the Upper East Regional Capital. It is one of the biggest tomato producing towns in Ghana.
I'm seeing the future to look like no farmer will they will not even see people even going into farm. Prefer going to park at the downside there, whatever work we get to do. And we do, because we know there's the service to stay away and do. The people at the downside, our brothers that live at downside there, most of them are coming back home here to join us in farming. But when they also come here to join us in farming, look, the canals are not good for them to go in and farm. And even the small that they will be able to get, nobody comes in to buy. So to me, looking in future, I don't think even when they talk of tomatoes farming, you come to VIA project and you not get people there farming. Because when you waste your time to go in and farm, nobody will come and buy.
In Nyariga alone, there are over 1,000 people cultivating tomatoes. The Upper East region is one of Ghana's poorest, and yet there is so much potential that could turn livelihoods around. There is a youth bulge, and yet no work.
People will not go in for tomato farming again. Look at the state of the dump and the canals. Because people are not even running out, because you go and pay your money to ICO, that they will give you water for cropping. But before you start the season, the canals are not good. And looking at ICO itself, they don't have that fund to work on the canals for the farmers.
Farming here produces two main products, food and meat. So in 1965, two major factories were built in this region, the Pwalugu Tomato factory and the Bolga meat factory. The Divestiture Implementation Committee, the government office supposed to be managing these factories, refused to be interviewed for this program. They did not give me access into these factories. So I've come here on my own, seeking to find out how the collapse of these two factories is affecting lives here. This is the Pwalugu Tomato factory, deserted and rusting away.
Madrid. You are where? Which club do you support? Young man.
It's Chelsea.
Chelsea. Chelsea is doing bad of late.
This one.
Inside the Pwalugu township, I meet the young people who are paying the hard price for a lack of jobs.
What does go about start digging pits because you want job?
No. Why if you encounter a wild animal in the bush? Hey, don't joke. Because you see, to be honest, the tomato factory in Giro was helping us.
We used to work there.
We used to work there. Because if it was operating, as I now, all of us we wouldn't have met anybody here. We would have been there trying to play a really great. But we only hope and pray that it will bounce back.
Well, it has brought a very great harm. Serious decline in businesses. Because those days, all the workers, even those who sell food, they were getting enough money for the people who buy food. Everybody was almost employed. The farmers, they had confidence because there was ready market. Today is different. But you farm, the woman will come and pass to Burkina and leave you. Your tomatoes will be getting rotten. So many people have switched to onions, which is not as viable as the tomatoes. But because of lack of ready market, people have chosen to take to the streets. That's why everybody is sitting here. But the only available opportunity is the farm. But the lack of market, what do? You have to come and sit here.
No, if he was a native, he would have been regular here.
You may have been sleeping here, sir.
Every day. Serious.
I suppose for you as a woman that this also raises concern, especially for young women and girls who are forced to leave the town because there's nothing to do, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, how does it affect, especially for women?
It affects us a lot. As for that one, like me sitting here, I'm not supposed to be here, but because there's no job, I'm here. Like the tomatoes factory, that's where I used to sell my food, my pure water and what. But at the moment, there's nothing. You go there, nobody is there. So we are forced to come here and just while away time and go back home.
Baba Akolbire cultivated his 10-acre tomato farm with a 3,000 cedi loan from a local bank. It's nearly a month after his tomatoes were ripe for harvesting. But he looks on as they rot away because there are no buyers and there is nowhere to store them.
I do because my business in fee like $1 new car. So my lack of na da car dear was our yobla, but I didn't Malik Mulo Sina Marac Mulo Kupa and Lakalabala, the Kenga and Makinda Pingy, Ligil Pa. Bamara Ping Ligilame about 15 million pa. Like a ton. So none Man ping is in a Makaya gown as young ping because they shoot out at the end. Mara pim little dinner. So Bahanka you bina. Te fat like a you. Magate tona, candles tona, they took a bam. To my bam, meet fan fancy, never more cambona. Because the mola, the king cambon, Tenamagati is our tambonum. Because be this our man, boomer, shall be you. La no. So we know the mambete. Come. Tomorrow want to tell you by hardness of course. Okay, me why is here.
It's a very dry afternoon. It's one of the driest times of the year. And here at the Bolga main station, you have all of these stalls who deal in these imported products. We are mainly interested today in the tomato paste products that they deal in. So here, you've got about 5 different brands of the tomato paste. You have got here the Super Saha, and on there it says made in China. You have the Nova, which is also made in China as well. You have got the Lavance, which interestingly has an Italian name but also says made in China. In fact, the closest you come to anything Ghana is Tasty Tom. which is only packaged in Ghana, but of course made wholly outside of Ghana. But the interesting thing is this is the Upper East region, one of the biggest producers of raw tomatoes. So all the young men and women you find here are people who would usually be selling these tomatoes onward to smaller shops all around the region, and you find them in smaller shops all over the place. This is the money man. He counts all the money and makes sure everything that is sold here is well accounted for, isn't it?
Yes, it's true.
But everything you sell here is Chinese made.
Yeah, but you know, in this modern system of Ghana, we are now living in China because, you know, normally when they made a product in Ghana, the Chinese people also copy the same product, which is Ghana product, but they will copy the same product and make it as a China product. They will use everything as a China, but it's a Ghana product.
Right.
Yes.
So you buy more of that. Do you ever buy? Do you get any tomatoes, any Ghanaian made tomato paste to buy?
It's hardly you get Ghanaian made tomatoes to buy because the Ghanaian factories doesn't make more product of the tomatoes. So it's hardly you get them in Ghana here to buy, unless you go outskirts to buy them and come.
Right. Right. But do you know that there's a lot of tomato that's produced here, especially in Bolgatanga? Yeah. How do you feel living in a place that produces so much tomatoes? There isn't market, there aren't people to buy them, and yet you struggle to buy Chinese-made tomato paste.
Yeah, because it's very expensive to be buy here. That's why we always go and buy the Chinese product to support ourselves. Because the Ghana tomato is very, very expensive. If you buy it to sell to people, it's hardly to be buy. That's the main reason why we buy the Chinese tomatoes. Because it's similar to the Ghana tomatoes. It's just similar. If you see the Chinese tomato and the Ghana tomatoes, it's just the same. But the Chinese one is less cost than the Ghana's tomatoes.
But there used to be a tomato processing factory here that was doing something similar.
Yeah.
How would it have been like if it was still working and you were producing something like this here?
It would have been good if the tomato factory should be in Upper East here. It should have been good because if the tomato factory is in Upper East, things will be easier. Like you take a car, go to a far place to buy, the transportation, everything will be lesser than going to a far place to buy and come. If it were to be here, it would be very, very easy and cheaper than the Chinese tomatoes because it is not here. So before you go far away to the Greater Accra and the other regions to go and buy the Ghana product and come here, it will be very costly. The TNT is the main problem.
So a lot of other young people work here as well, mainly carrying the bags of processed tomato paste. And so tell me, how much does it cost you to bring in these tomato paste every now and then?
In fact, it costs a lot of money. The factories, those factories that are in Accra, mostly they always bring it. And in fact, it's not easy. If you don't have money, you don't just go there. It's need a lot of money. Example like the tasty tom like this. When they bring one down from Accra and they want to give us for the supply price, at least 70 or more. That's 70 Ghana cedis or more. Then we take. So we those in bulk here to also take. Then we retail, or those who also come from far like Upper West, Ouagadougou, we can also sometimes also sell it to them at a whole price. That's normal what is happening here.
But how does that then make you feel? Because you live in a place and you come from an area where you grow so much tomatoes and yet you import processed tomato paste.
Actually, we are not all that happy that the tomato factory is located in Upper East here, precisely Bolka, and at least we can't get anything there. Most of our farmers, those who used to farm tomatoes for the factory for production, they don't do it because of the factory is closed down. And I don't know whether if I should be permitted to blame the politicians. They keep on promising that the factory will be revamped, always nothing. If you go there virtually, it's closed down.
The story of the tomato factory is sad, but worse is that of Burgers Meat Factory, which used to buy from livestock farmers in this region and processed meat products.
Well, the collapse of the company, I think, is from the head people working there. They collapsed the company. Because when you come to something like called Kalbule and what, that is that one called the whole issue.
Bukari Akargo worked for the meat factory for 30 years until it folded up in the mid-90s. Now he sells cattle in Bolgatanga.
I was doing with the business with my brothers, and when I was young, so I know what detail from meat factory or.
I'm George Abeka Samanaba. I'm the secretary of the Bolga Cattle Dealers Association. We had 150 members. I'm a cattle dealer, and I trade on cattle about 26 years today. I'm all in the business. The cattle business is good, but sometimes we face a lot of challenges. Marketing is a problem. If you are selling cattle to down south, you face a lot of problems with the security. And then marketing too, and then financial problem too. Like the factory is working, we have gained a lot. The factory have even made some of the farmers lose, plus with the traders. If the factory is working, we can supply it any quantity of cattle they want. At least at the market here, about 200 or 150 cattle will come in. They will buy at least maybe 60 or 70. The rest are to return. And we see that the market is not moving like if the factory were working.
Fatla yun ton la to you not pay ni la ta king ma to ban ta weba la yu an songa song la asene songa de sere kama kumi di dang ka boy ti ta ko ba ma to ligre ba yun song to aha ba yun song to to ta na ta ko ni la ta na ko bla to ligre ba ta na de ti to checking bang ta to ligla so fatla yun ton la yun song to zo ba Fadla ka tunla nana wong la wong rutuma fadla ka tunla la wong rutuma sala so armete wong la bom na debe man nana jo ma de ko ngi king sore ka king sore ti fadla tun nda ni la da fadla tin dik ba wole king sore nkan king sore to hala dik ni ba ko arba king sore pulla ma jo ba le damba
When you go to meat factory now, you can't get anybody there. If not accept of the security man, I don't know whether now the security man did there, not something did there, I don't know yet. But still the engines, everything are still there. And those who are doing there, they are all no good work. They are all standard. Some go for pension, some die. And now the young boys are working. We also need a meat factory to be working. Some of the young boys to be there working. But now that one no day.
The factory too, a lot of the youth will engage in employment. When the factory was working, a lot of people were working there. Some of the butchers were buying bones from the factory, the skin and others. So it will bring a lot of things in the region. We pay more to the security on the way, the barriers. Each barrier take not less than 30 Ghana cedis. Each barrier. And you can imagine from here to Accra, we face about 40-something barriers. Just as a bribe, when you get to the barrier, they charge you, and they don't take less than 30 Ghana cedis. You have all your documents. If you don't pay, they detain the car. They will not allow you to go. They will collect your papers and put them down and be sitting. If you don't pay, you stay there. If the factory is working, all these things would have ablated. If you had your cattle, you send it to the factory, you have no challenges again. So if you load a car here to Accra, you have to have about 2,000 or 3,000 cedis before you could get to Accra for the security alone. But you have your papers, genuine, veterinary council ticket, income tax, you had everything. But when you get to the barrier, they will tell you that they don't need the papers, they need money, they will charge you. You will bargain like you are buying something from them. And one thing too, if you go to Accra, the butchers are to buy
and slaughter sell before they pay you. So you stay there about 3 or 4 weeks before you take your money. But the factory here, you can go there and they slaughter maybe 1 week time, you take your money.
Our business have got down because when we were in olden days, we can go about 300, 500, 600 cattle entered to Ghana. But now that the business collapsed.
Future, our business will collapse. Because I'm seeing that the capital you have, it always reduces. You don't increase. But if you buy a cattle here, the little profit you are going to take, you spend it on the police and the customs. So I'm seeing that in future, our business will collapse. We are pleading to the government to help us, either to open the factory for us to help us and talk to the security to consider us when we have our necessary documents.
It's been 59 years since independence, with over 300 state-owned enterprises run down in Ghana. So how true is the speech by Dr. Nkrumah at the beginning of this film that we were capable of managing our own affairs? For Joy News, my name is Justice Baidu.